Hi, and welcome to another Wednesday with Wilna. And I'm starting off by prepping just a American Crafts heavyweight cardstock with like a teaspoon of gesso and an old hotel key card. And you can see how I'm spreading it really thin. And that's just to help put a little bit of a barrier between the paper and the mixed media, because I'm really going full out on these scrapbook pages for the next 4 weeks for Wednesdays. There you can see the color I'm using is the heavy body turquoise. Is it turquoise? I don't know, it sounds so wrong. Turquoise deep is the color. Yeah, starting off mispronouncing most of the names, but that's okay. You have to love me anyway. And that's Prussian blue. Or is it black? I don't know. I think it's black. No, it's Prussian blue. No, it's black. Okay, let's go with black because I'm really painting a lot with black. I'm moving over to the dark side, people. I think that's what's happening. You can see I'm just drawing into this wet paint. It makes fun markings, but I don't think in the end that you actually see those. But you know what? It was fun doing it. Talking about art as therapy. So, you know what? That's the first layer, and now you just want to set it aside to let it dry. And because I worked on 4 layouts at the same time, that's why my desk is not changing a lot. A lot like the art journals, you know what? I prepped 4 pages and I was just working at, all the same time. And I'm just drying the ink. And it's called Liquitex acrylic ink. And I'm in love with this ink. And I bought a whole bunch of colors from Michael's. And what a joy, you know what? It was just amazing. Okay, so I know it looks terrible, right? It looks like a disaster, but that's the fun part of doing art journaling on art journal pages and on scrapbook pages. Even though I must admit, I think it's the first time that I'm going so full on art journaling on my scrapbook pages. So now I'm trying this stamp that I also bought from Michael's. They have this whole boho collection out from Recollections that I love. And I bought the stamp thinking I might work with it. But you know what? The stamp stuck to the paper, which I did not like at all. So I like the stamp, but I hope to use it in future more. But I think also I edited it out in the end. Didn't make it into the final page. Okay, if you watch the previous art journaling page, you'll see the resemblance here. Also with the turquoise paint and the black. And now I'm just adding a touch of white, trying something a little new here. But in the end, this also disappeared, But again, it's all about working with, I don't know, the layers, the layer upon layer. And it's something that I actually usually don't do, I like the minimalistic approach. But then again, art journaling is such an intuitive, and there you can see I'm painting it all black again. Art journaling is such an intuitive process, and I think it's about the process more than the final result. Even though the final result, for me personally, have to be pleasing to the eye. But you know what? I came back from South Africa with a very heavy heart, thoroughly homesick and jet lagged, and this process was so therapeutic for me personally. It was literally like the sunshine coming back into my heart and my soul, just working, So now I'm taking that same stencil that I used on the art journal page and a dabber, bottom hearts, and I'm just going to dab some white paint. Actually, it's heavy body gesso. Just going to dab it This is a very thin stencil. It's also by Recollections that I bought from Michael's. It's a little packet of like 4 stencils. But Tim Holtz also makes a lovely stencil with wood grain, and you can find them everywhere, I guess. Just look at the related products. I'll have it there. And I'm just going to move it a tiny bit and do it all over again. And there you go. So once this is dry, then we're going to continue on it. I'm really going to layer it up. So I'm using that same stencil, and you'll see I'm going to use it quite a bit in the coming on my pages, art journaling and scrapbook pages. And I just love that stencil. It's a stencil that I created for my 16 Ways to Love class, and I actually made it on it's silhouette. I did it with my silhouette, and it's silhouette stencil material, so you can actually buy the stencil material. I think I bought it at Michael's, and that way you can create stencils that you can use over and over again. That paper pad is also by Recollections. I bought it from Michael's, and it's just this boho, that worked with that stamp. It also worked with beautiful embellishments that you will see that I will use on it. Such a hippie thing, and it felt to me that it's so folkish, folk, like folk, F-O-L-K, folk art. And I just love it. And I'm using the same idea by using this strip like I did on the art journaling video. And once this is dry, I'm just going to, or maybe I'm not going to wait till it's dry. I'm just mixing the magenta and red and white. And now I'm going to add a touch of yellow because I just love this color. It's almost like an orange, and just a little bit more white, and I'm just going to paint around it. And on the art journaling page, I almost painted in a triangle, and I'm going to try and do that again because I just love that art journaling page. Adding a tiny bit more water to my acrylic paint. And you know what, because I'm using I prepped my page with a little bit of gesso. It really does not buckle over much, I just wanted to say the stencil that I used was is such a versatile thing. And to me, it's not about the words. It's just about the texture. Okay. I used a photo of Wilna, and I did trim it. It was a 6x4, and I trimmed it, and I just mounted it on a page of white paper. You can also see that I used the Liquitex ink in that beautiful green and made splatters with it. I don't know why. And then, you know what, it just happens. Sometimes my card is full and it doesn't record everything. And then I used my Silhouette print and cut to cut the Wildest Dreams. If you don't have a Silhouette and you want to use my products, you can absolutely do that. Everything is in PDF, so you can just print it. And if there's not a PDF, you can just use the PNG to print it. So I'm on a Mac, so what I do is I just double click the PNG file and it opens in preview and you can print it. It prints perfectly. You can maybe just use a thicker cardstock to print it on. You can see how the page is coming together. And I'm using the white ink now, which I love. And I'm just going to paint some detail around the little grouse. It's called a double-banded sand grouse. It's a beautiful little South African bird. And I'm just going to paint white around it because I want to take away that white border, like the illustration is almost coming out of the page. So I'm using tiny bits of just markings and you can use any marking, and this is really called embroidering. It's a lot of fun to do, and I think you can carry on doing this for a long time. It's really, really a lot of fun. I love the depth of this page, and I love how that little bit of orange just makes it pop. I don't feel that it's too much. It feels fresh to me, but like I think Susie wrote on a comment that it's truly wild. So I'm going off the wild side with these scrapbook pages. I hope you like them. I would love to hear your feedback. I'm a little nervous, because it's not really what I'm doing, but funny enough, it feels incredibly familiar to me. It doesn't feel strange. So, and of course, I love those sentiments by Tim Holtz, and I'm going to use a whole bunch of them on all my pages. They just complement these scrapbook pages and art journals in the most beautiful way, so it's just a joy to use them. I'm using hot glue to add them because I'm not sure that little bit of stickiness on the back of those stickers will survive the mixed media and the gels and the paints and everything. So I'll rather make sure that they work. So I placed a few black sentiments on the bottom, and then I'm going to use the white ones on the top. And I probably mentioned this a few times, but I did the whole 16 Ways to Love workshop on Tia and Kirsten, my two eldest girls, and I felt Jana was left behind, so we did do a photo shoot this last week, but I couldn't get those pictures developed quick enough, so I used a few of her oldest ones where her hair was still long, and that's fine with me because I love the photos and it just complemented the scrapbook layouts tremendously. And that's just one of the things about me is I'm not afraid to use the same photos over and over again because the stories I tell is differently. I'm stretching out the layout just on a white piece of paper. I'm not going to frame them because I feel they are busy enough. And here you can see the final page. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.